Boom.
There we go.
Good morning. Oh, that was like right on cue.
Oh my God. Good morning. Happy Sunday.
It was happy until we're like almost 30 minutes late.
Well, now I'm happier.
Right? There we go. We're running on brown folk time.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Nothing irritates me more than being late.
But see, this was like not your fault. It's your internet, but still. It's okay.
Well, good morning.
It's
Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. I'm your host, Tony Twist. This is ATW, All Things Wrestling Podcast, always joined by Miss
Liz. Good morning.
Hollywood Liz. You got to when are you going to change that Hollywood Liz?
I don't think I can. I'm not Hollywood.
But WrestleMania is going to Hollywood, and that's where you're at. So
okay,
I mean,
so maybe next year.
Maybe next year. Well, hey, I apologize for us running late this morning, but happy Sunday. Good morning from the West Coast. Good afternoon on the East Coast. Did you catch Clash at the Castle? I saw you were sitting poolside somewhere.
I wish. I mean, well. Not poolside. I was in the pool.
I saw you were in a pool somewhere.
I was in the pool, but not poolside because it's an above ground pool, so there's no sides.
Oh shit!
Yes, but I was in the pool. Yes, one of those. The ones that you just buy, you build, and you pick it up and throw water in there. Yeah, one of those.
Throw water in there. There's a drought in California. Why are you putting a hose in a pool and filling it up with water?
It took us several days. Okay, we didn't do it all in, whatever. So we took our time.
All right. Well, hey,
we haven't drained it out, so we have it. We have a filter. It stays clean, and we're hardly in there anyway. So
right,
it doesn't help my situation right now.
Oh, okay. All right, I got you. Well,
anyways,
there's Kenny. Good morning, Kenny. Kenny's in the chat.
Good morning, Kenny.
I'm trying to get it to show, but as usual, nothing's working this morning. Are you seeing it show up?
Yes. I'm seeing it pop up like 30 times.
Yeah, it's dumb.
Hi, Kenny.
Good morning, Kenny. But hey, let's get this show on the road. We're running late. I want to bring our guest on. We're going to cover Clash at the Castle. We're going to talk about AEW All Out, all the news of the week. And here we go. So let's bring on our guest. She's coming out of New York. I don't know if she's in New York City or one of the boroughs, but a lot of our wrestling crew is up in New York. We got shout out to the Knuckleheads podcast, Call Up podcast, Gigi and the crew, everybody. Happy Sunday. Good afternoon, guys. But let's bring her on. She is the co-host and producer of the Culture 316 podcast. Welcome, Mo. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Good morning, everybody. Yes, my name is Mo. If you're looking at the bold ass scream name, apologize for that, but that's what I'm known for on Twitter.
Well, it's all good. It's all good.
I'm pretty much known for being that candid edge fan that kind of just says whatever the fuck comes to her mind and is very unapologetic about it.
Right.
And to clarify, I'm from Long Island, New York, but currently right now I'm recording in Queens. As you said prior, I'm one half to the Culture 316 podcast with my co-host Jordan. Shout out to him. Shout out to our former co-host Angelo and our wonderful team that works behind the scenes, Nora and Whitney. Love them all. Our podcast is pretty much just covers wrestling analysis, things that go on in the news and stuff like that. We like to touch upon things that may be going on in the world socially, and we like to apply it to what's going on in the wrestling world, or just touch upon topics that normally get swept underneath the rug that we want to bring to light, So, we're fun. We're pretty much off the walls and stuff like that. And we're a bunch of dorky wrestling fans, just the rest of y'all that's like having fun.
And I think that's a big part of like why I started our show. We're just super fans and we want to give our opinions, and like everybody else on the internet, everybody has opinions and we have some too.
Of course.
Right. Well, so tell me more about the show. How long has the show been around? Where can the audience find the show? When are you guys on?
Oh, well, we normally post our shows on Fridays, but the podcast itself has been around longer than I've been around. I'm actually fairly new. 2017, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. If you guys are looking to watch our podcast,
Are we frozen?
Or is
I was like,
I could drop it down below, maybe a link for the group. Maybe our link tree that they could just like tap on it.
Okay, so
yes.
I think you cut out a little bit. Liz, did she cut out? Or is that my side?
No,
okay, so sorry, that last part, Mo, we did not catch. You like froze and then you disappeared, but I didn't know if it was mine because my stuff hasn't been running right all morning.
We're just going through it right now with technology, y'all. But no, I was just saying, perhaps in the comment section, I could leave down our link tree so everyone could have access to our social medias as well as our, platforms that we stream.
Absolutely.
We'll definitely even add that to the description to our live today.
Got it.
So I gotta know the name. I see the name there. I gotta hear all about it. I mean, how long have you had that love for Edge? And what do you think about his mask last night at
I loved it. No one was a happier fan than me last night. Okay. Like I was off the wall screaming from the moment this man came out in a Lucha Libre mask. Okay. Down to the fact that he pulled a 619 and fucking did a spear through the ropes or a suicide dive, if you will. Like it's fucking iconic. It was everything I wanted. But to explain my name, I've been an Edge fan since I've been a fan of wrestling. I've been a fan of wrestling since 2004, specifically that Backlash match with Mick Foley and Randy Orton. That's what made me a fan of wrestling. But Edge is like my favorite. My greatest of all time favorite. I always loved him since I was a kid. I adore him now as an adult. Very happy that he's back, and I'm very sad that this is his last year with a run. But the name, it's been a running gag with me on social media that I love Edge. And I'll be honest, this name was supposed to be like a joke temporarily that I changed my Twitter name to this, but it kind of stuck with people. So and I was like, I want to change it back to my original name. They're like, no, you got to keep it. You got to keep it. I'm like, well, I'm not really complaining because it's not wrong. It's not like I lied. But like it sticks. I like it. I love Edge. Again, he's my favorite. If you guys see me on Twitter, and maybe if you guys do end up using the platform a lot more, everyone knows me from over there, and that I usually am popping off at the mouth saying some crazy behind things about Edge anytime he's on. So kind of goes hand in hand. So,
I love it.
Thanks.
So what did you think about, and we'll talk about Clash at the Castle. What did you think about the match? I was actually pleasantly surprised. It was better than I thought it was going to be.
Oh yeah, I agree, because I'm not going to lie. The Judgment Day feud in general just has been kind of up and down for me. Like there's some points where it's like, oh, I think this is going to evolve into something more interesting, and then there's some times where it's just kind of like repetitive, predictable, or flatlining for me. I knew that what the outcome was going to be at the end. I was not surprised by the heel turn with Dominic, but the match itself was actually like fun. I think from beginning to end it was exciting. I don't think there was a moment that felt boring. There's a lot of spots that were fun, like I said earlier. I mean, the 619 definitely popped the shit out of me. The suicide dive, the ring psychology that was going on, the mockery. I thought it was just a fun match for me. I thought, if anything, top to bottom, the pay-per-view was just like fun, like shockingly fun. I'm not sure if this meant that maybe Edge just had more control over like the calling of this match and how he wanted it to go. What do you guys think about that?
I'll let Liz go first. I know Liz is a little high, so I'm gonna go ahead and let her give her take first. She looks like she's
high as shit and happy. I want to go with that.
She smoked as soon as we went live. She was blowing it out.
I saw you before,
but I want to know what Liz has to say about this.
I mean, I personally agree. I kind of started falling off on WWE a little bit. or just I think there's just so much wrestling going on. But
well, don't get it twisted. I mean, you're doing a lot of wrestling. I mean, so Mo, if you don't know about Liz, she's at like shows like twice a week, 3 times a week. She's out doing appearances, hosting appearances at the memorabilia shops for all the wrestling stuff. Like, so this lady, I don't know how she even keeps up with. I don't know how she keeps up with anything. So
wow.
That's why she got nicknamed Hollywood Liz. So
that's sticking. I'm definitely gonna roll with that one.
No, right?
All right, so go ahead. Give your take. Give your take.
No, but for me, honestly, this pay-per-view, okay, so I am not gonna lie, I wasn't like really sitting down watching this. I was watching as much as I could because I was doing chores. I had chores to do. I had to clean my house because we were gonna have guests over. But dude, this crowd was insanely crazy for every single match from beginning to end, and it made me excited to kind of rewatch the show. So I am looking forward to rewatching it. But the split highlights that I did see, oh my god, like this pay-per-view was fun. Like it was surprisingly fun. I kind of saw like, I don't know, my point of view was just like, damn, like this is just so different. I don't see why this is compared to, any other company. I'm like, all companies are different, but this pay-per-view was just so much fun. I think the whole entire theme of it was crazy, but I personally did not, I don't know, I wanted Judgment Day to win. I wanted them to take this win. I love the whole entire concept of Edge, but I think for Dominic to turn, I think it would have probably made sense if they would have lost and he would have been upset about it. And then, turning on Edge and his dad and, just kind of splitting off. But then at the same time, it would have made sense if he would have lost the match. I'm just kidding.
I respect that.
But that's just me. Like, I just personally felt like I think Judgment Day should have taken it, but I'm on the same wavelength as you, Mo, that I do think that they do have their up and downs where we do think that they're going to excel. Or like, okay, we have solid, something solid going on here. And then bam, they just kind of like, I think focus on something else and then just kind of like, just throw them out there where it's not flowing to what they did the week prior, 2 weeks prior. So it kind of is up and down, but I felt like because of that, they needed to win and they needed to stay solid as they're growing to be that new faction of, Judgment Day. So I don't know. I felt like they needed that win. I think that they should have won. I'm not upset at it because I am a Mysterio fan. I do like Edge. So I wasn't mad at it. And I was looking forward to that heel turn. So I was all in for this match. I did like it. I did enjoy it. So I do need to rewatch it because hearing just everything what was going on, I was just like, I was washing dishes and I'm like, oh, God damn it. I'm trying to watch. But,
yeah, I like that.
But no, this match was so much fun. At least just hearing it. And I wish I could have been there because that crowd was wild.
Oh my gosh, they were singing the hell out of Edge's song and everything. Like the entire time they were like,
I know.
And I feel like it has to also do with like the amount of matches they decided to put on the card. Like it wasn't like an exhausting amount of matches. Like it was a good pay-per-view lane. Mm-hmm. In the past, WWE like had like these long behind pay-per-views with all these filler matches that I don't think anyone cared to see, that we really could have just done with seeing on a regular televised episode. But what they did 5 or 6 matches, that was like the perfect amount of matches because I had energy for the whole pay-per-view. Sorry?
Exactly. They had storytelling within the match.
Yes. Yes. Enough time for the
enough time. Exactly.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
No, you're fine.
It's like delayed, so when you speak it, like, I hear it a little bit after.
Oh, my bad.
So my bad.
Mm-hmm. It's the internet. It hates us today. So
I know, right?
But today. What do you think?
I think what they were talking about yesterday was saying that there was an unusual number of video packages during that pay-per-view. So honestly, they probably could have trimmed like 30 minutes off that pay-per-view. If I was like wondering, so why do they keep playing so many video packages? So that was a big complaint that people were having about that. But as far as the pay-per-view goes, like they're actually, for the first time ever, I watched it from the beginning to the end, there wasn't a bad match. It was pretty solid.
Very solid.
Yeah, it was pretty solid all the way through with the tag match with Bayley's new faction against Asuka and them. That was a pretty solid match. And And I got to give it up to Liv Morgan. That match was a lot better than I thought, too. Shayna Baszler can sell better than Ronda Rousey can, that's for sure, because she made that believable that Liv could actually beat her. And the way she won, that was a great match. Like I said, there wasn't a bad match on the card. In my opinion, I didn't think there was any bad matches.
I agree with you with that Liv Morgan one because I honestly thought Shayna was going to destroy her, which she did.
Right.
You know, she was basically destroying her in the beginning. I was like, dude, like that's fucking crazy for you to make a champion look like that. You know, and then at the end, you know, I knew she was going to come off. She wasn't going to win. I don't know why. I was just like, I don't think that they're going to give Shayna that time yet. They haven't built her up the way that they built her up in NXT, and I know that that's what Triple H's plans are probably going to be like, to build her up just what that beast she was in NXT. So I didn't think she was going to be winning that championship anytime right now. So I was kind of rooting for Liv in a way of wanting her to look like a solid champion, because I know that people were kind of starting to turn on her after that whole Ronda Rousey match. So I was like, she needs a solid freaking win in order for her to kind of get people back on her side and not kind of like be iffy about her being champion. So I thought it was a solid win for her, especially how she won. And yes, I do agree. Shayna did definitely fucking sell that shit. That whole ending, I was just like, damn girl, okay. So I was a fan of that match. I did enjoy it a little bit more than I expected. So I'm not going to lie. I didn't. And that ending was a lot more pleasing than what I thought it would be. So.
Right. Mo, what did you think about that match?
I'll be honest. I'm not really a big Liv Morgan fan. Like, I like her as a person. And she's great. And she's cool. I just don't look at her as being championship material. I think that while the Money in the Bank cash in and win was exciting in the moment, I just don't think she was ready quite yet to have the belt on her. And it's for a few reasons. I think it's the way she carries herself. Like, she has great matches. That's like my lowest complaint. She has the look and she wrestles very well. I thoroughly enjoyed her match with Shayna last night. I got to see like the NXT Shayna, the bully Shayna. Like, that's my favorite version of her. And I felt like even though she lost, it didn't make her look weak for once, which was my biggest complaint about her on the main roster. I feel like Vince constantly dropped the ball with her time after time after time again. And while I would have preferred if she won, I'm not really shocked that Liv did. Because just knowing with the way Triple H moves, I don't think that he would want to. I don't think he wanted to just give up on Liv yet, because right now she's coming off like a failed experiment, if you will. And I don't mean to be rude, because I know she's trying. Like, I know she genuinely is trying, and she loves to be champion, and she just needs more time. I just think it's mainly, again, how she carries herself. Like, when I see her cut promos and stuff like that, it comes off to me personally like a fan almost, like one of us if you gave us a belt and a mic. You feel me? Like, none of her promos come off like convincing, but I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to make her come off like, you know, an underdog. So they're slowly building her with like tougher and tougher and tougher challenges. But that's just kind of like my biggest thing with her, because I felt like you could put the belt on anyone else, or we have seen the belt on other people, you know, like Bianca kind of got it like that when it came to carrying herself as a champion. I don't even like Charlotte Flair, but she'll carry herself like naturally as a champion when it comes to like holding a microphone. Shayna Baszler, my favorite, you know, it's just, I just don't get that out of Liv Morgan. So did I enjoy the match? Yeah. I think one of my favorite things was that same move. I don't know what you call it, but that sequence she does in the corner, where she kind of flips over and then she did a power bomb, but this time she made it into a running power bomb. That was like one of my favorite spots in the match. I thought that was pretty awesome. Shayna like fake acting like she's gonna break her arm. Just to see like the ring psychology about how Liv Morgan kind of got herself out of that. Like, she knew damn well Shayna was trying to come for her arm, because she made that a point on the show that she's gonna break it next time, but she's gonna do it and embarrass her, you know, because that's you know, NXT 1.0 Shayna's mindset. She's gonna like bully you in front of the whole crowd and embarrass you. I like the fact that they definitely made that part of the storytelling. You know, I'm very big on ring psychology, so I like the fact that that they had her go back and forth between fighting to, you know, protect her arm, and then even Liv tried going for Shayna's arm. Like, you're not about to get me, bitch. I try again, So I liked it. It made me appreciate her a little bit more. I'm not mad about the outcome, Good match overall.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. She just doesn't. I think before this match, everything that she's done, her promos, she comes off as like kind of whiny and like she's supposed to be a baby face, but I think the crowd is definitely not digging her. They were prior because she was that underdog trying to become a champ, and it's like, yay, she's champ, but then they turn her into like a whiny baby face, and I don't get that. So I think they could have rode that momentum into kind of turning her heel, which I think would have been kind of cool. But I think after yesterday's match with Shayna, I think she legitimized her championship run a lot more because that was, I thought, a really, really good match. It wasn't a fantastic match, but I think, if they're kind of milking this, her arm is messed up and this and that, and she still pulls out a victory over someone really tough as Shayna, it does legitimize her a little more, but I don't know how long they're going to keep going with this injured arm shit because, like, I hope they kind of kill that soon. I think it's kind of dumb if they just keep kind of going with that injury angle.
I think that they're giving her that because I'm not trying to be an asshole, but she kind of lacks a personality. Like, she literally has everything else going for her, but her personality is dry as shit on the mic.
I was about to say that. I was like, not say like, that she's dry as shit. But I was about to say like, no, you're good. You're good. No, you're good. But no, I was about to get to that point is the fact that we have seen her personality shift so many times in the little span that she has been in WWE. So I think it's like her just trying to find herself, that we're still kind of like, we're not relatable to her, but we feel for her because, we know what that she has been working hard to get to where she's at. And I do agree. At first I was like, okay, I didn't think Liv was ready to be champion. I was like, I was all for it because, she, has this pop that, she's the it girl right now. Everybody wants to see her grow and get in a push and everything, but everything does come, at its time. But I wasn't mad at it. I was like, okay, she finally got her shot. Let's see what she is, what she's made of. Like, she wanted it so bad, everything. When she got it, we all get emotional, or she were, to get emotional and stuff. But I just wanted to see, I was like, okay, I'm like, if we all thought, I'm like, I hope she proves everybody wrong. That we're seeing that she wasn't ready and she goes in there and, she fucking kills it. But so far right now, this is only her second title defense, and stuff. Like the one with Ronda was like, okay, like we were hoping that she would win. We're like, okay, hopefully that, that Money in the Bank cash-in wasn't just like, a flop, but she loses it right away. And then that's it. Like, she lost that contract and lost the title and, whatever. So I'm glad she kept it. So I was like, okay, let's see what's going on. So this with Shayna, it's another step. So I feel like I just want to give her a chance because I was in the same position where I was like, okay, I want to see her as champion because I want to see her get a push. Because I just want to see somebody else also out there and see what they can do with it. Because you never know. That's sometimes you get the coolest fucking champions off of that shit. So I'm still hopeful that she gets better. But her mic skills, when she's on that mic, you don't know what personality you're getting of Liv. At least for me, because like I said, I'm like not too, like, I watch it consistently. Like I watch it weekly. But I'm not like really paying attention. I'm not gonna lie. So I've seen different versions of her. In this version right now, I was kind of like the backstage stuff where she's like coming in tough and like all that. I get it, but I don't know. I feel like it doesn't go with her. But I would love a heel side of her, but just not that. Like much more of a sassy side because she looks more like she could be sassy. But then again, people didn't like when Lacey Evans did that shit. So I don't know. I don't understand people. And Tony left.
Hey, I don't know what happened with that, but no,
His
I actually agree with your. Sorry.
His internet's been a little.
Yeah, I noticed because the whole thing went away, and then you guys kept talking. So maybe it's me. I don't know what's going on. But no, I definitely agree with your take. You actually brought up another point I wanted to make. I noticed that when she was winning her other matches, she was like winning by like the skin of her teeth. I like the fact that they let her have like a legitimate win. you know, because again, that kind of does legitimize her as a champion. So that was a very good point. As far as the personality goes, I forgot what was her age. I know she's very young. I know she started WWE when she was still like in her teens.
He's like 19 or something like that.
Yeah, so she came in with like this jersey gimmick with these sneakers. She's basically looked
Yeah.
like Enzo, but as a female.
Yeah,
And
pretty
then
much.
she swapped over like with the pink hair and the blue tongue and stuff like that, and in the Riot Squad. And then I don't know what's her reasoning between keeping up with this look, because WWE was the one that came up with this look for her, right? Remember that one time they were trying to do a failed experiment with her when she was supposed to debut as something else, you know? So I was very surprised when she came back again, repackaged, that she went with this, because I don't know what she is this time. The first two gimmicks, I knew what she was. She had a character. Right now, she's just a really pretty blonde. So I would like to see her bring some form of a personality more to the mic and not come off more like a fan cosplaying a wrestler.
Yeah.
Don't mean to be harsh, but that's, you got the belt on you. You got to convince me that you are someone that should be representing the company. That's just me.
Well, I'm back.
Does it outside of the show, but I think like on the show so far, because I see her, she's all preppy, cute, and you know everything outside of it. I personally still haven't seen none of her interviews outside since she's been champion. Sorry, Liv. But I do see that she just represents differently outside of the ring than she does inside. So hopefully she does bring that in here.
Yeah, I think she's just shy.
Triple H. Yeah, I feel it's because it's so hard. I think sometimes it's not accepted. Some people just don't like some particular characters. I'm like, but you just gotta be yourself. Just be yourself. She likes his Beetlejuice character, which worked for me. Hey, that was a cute fit. I actually did like that.
Well, let's go to the next match. Enough about Liv Morgan. Hopefully she steps up a little bit, because I think if the people can't get behind her and she still keeps coming off, I think they're gonna probably take the belt off of her, probably. And then you got people coming back. Hopefully, I think everyone was kind of thinking Charlotte Flair might show up, but she did not. So Monday Night Raw is going to be very interesting. Let's see kind of what happens on Monday night. But let's go to the next match. I think the Gunther Sheamus match, which was an absolutely – I was really surprised about this. I've never been a big fan of Sheamus. This match was brutal, and it was – I enjoyed like every minute of it. I'm not, you know, I've been watching Gunther, whatever, however you want to pronounce his name, but Walter, right, from NXT. So I didn't know I didn't know too much about him in NXT. I was never a big NXT fan. So to see him now, though, I mean, this guy, he's definitely legitimately going to be champ. Probably, you know, I guess if the belts ever come off of Roman, he's a guy that can definitely make a run for the big title. So this match, top to bottom, was brutal. I loved it. The crowd loved it. Mo, what'd you think about this match?
Thought this match was fucking great. It was amazing storytelling. And if I'm not mistaken, didn't it get like a standing ovation like mid-match or something like that?
The crowd they were electrified during this match.
Yeah, no, I'm a big Walter fan. I call him Walter, not Gunther. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I can't go with that name. So yeah, shout out to Liz for mentioning that. But yeah, no, Sheamus, it's not that I dislike Sheamus. I just don't have like a single match about him that I would ever just go back and rewatch. But this was a match that I definitely would go back and rewatch. Like, it was fun. It was entertaining. The biggest spot that popped me was what the fuck was that? That move that he does when he throws him over. He was on the top of the turnbuckle and he like chucked him over his head. And Walter's a big ass dude, bro. Like, he's a big ass dude. He chucked him over and got some height. Like, that shit popped me. You know, like, it was like a legitimate heavyweight match. You know what I mean? And it was a lot of variety. There's a lot of variety that was going on there. And I mean, the crowd ate it up. First of all, can we just backtrack a little bit? I loved the Imperium entrance.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking loved it.
That was pretty great.
Yes.
Yes, they're bringing it back, you know, and it made like the Intercontinental Championship just feel like so important because I feel like for the longest, like Vince slept on the mid card titles, and I just feel like ever since Gunther has been holding it, like I care again because as a child when I was watching WWE, like that was actually one of my favorite titles besides the World Heavyweight Championship, you know, and I feel like for the longest they haven't been taking the mid card title seriously at all. Like it's kind of like one of those matches where it would happen on pay per view, and you know you probably go get up and do the fucking dishes or go ahead and I don't know vacuum the carpet or something. But now when I see a mid card title match, whether it's televised or on the pay per view, I am so excited. Now that like the belt has been on Gunther, he's just putting on banger after banger after banger. I would definitely say that this is like one of Sheamus's strongest matches, and they definitely both look good, regardless of who won. Like they both came out looking solid, and like that's all I ever asked for out of a wrestling match. Do you feel me?
Absolutely. And Circle of Debate. Hey guys, happy Sunday. Match of the night. It's pretty fucking close. I would say, you know, besides the main event, which we'll get to, which was really awesome. This match would be right there with them. I definitely have to agree with you guys. Could be the runner up for match of the night for sure.
This one was definitely one of my favorites. I actually sat down for this one.
You sat down?
I was looking forward to this match. So I was looking forward to this match. I was looking forward to Riddle and Seth. And then by the time that I got to the main event, I had just finished doing, you know, my chores and stuff from cleaning my kitchen and shit. So I actually was already ready by the main event. But those two matches were the ones that I was actually looking forward to in this entire card. So I was so excited because I'm a huge Walter fan. This dude is a fucking beast. Like for the longest, I was like, I don't think he is even gonna go to NXT. I thought from UK, NXT UK, he was gonna go straight to the main roster. I was surprised when they moved him to NXT. So I was like, okay. I was like, all right. But Imperium, hell yeah, it's my shit. When they came out, I was just like, no way. I like even trying to pull out my phone, but I was just so like trying to watch it. I'm like, damn it. And I think I caught like a glimpse of his entrance, like a boomerang or whatever's. And I was just so excited, and I was just like, oh my God, like, yes, like Triple H, you're doing it. I love you. I love you. If I didn't say this before, I love you even more now, because since SummerSlam and going on to his second pay-per-view that he's been able to manage and control himself on the creative side of it. A lot of people may not have seen NXT. Like Tony was saying, he wasn't a huge NXT fan. So a lot of that NXT Black and Gold era is coming into the main roster, and I'm all for it. I love it because there's people that had already left NXT by the time that this era came up and was so huge. Like takeovers were honestly one of like the pay-per-view of the weekends before, at least in my intake. Like I was more excited for 100%. NXT than I was for the main roster. So I love it. I'm all for it. I'm so excited for like this new thing going on with Triple H. But this freaking match was one of those matches that I was saying Sheamus was no longer in NXT by the time that Walter came around. So there was no way that you could have seen that match before. But I loved it. This was amazing, fucking brutal. It made me hold my chest just a little bit tighter because I cannot imagine going through all of that. And these guys are so big and so, oh my God. I like Sheamus. Like Circle Debate said, he is underrated. This guy has had a great career. One of my favorite feuds, of course, was with John Cena. So that's where for me, I was just kind of like, damn, this guy is. He's a monster. I was like, he don't look like it, but he is. And I was excited for this match. It definitely builds up Walter a lot more in the main roster. So I hope Triple H brings back Walter and gets rid of Gunther. I don't know, or maybe that's his preferred name to go on the main roster. I don't know, because I've read different shit on the internet, and we can't believe everything on the internet. So
yes,
But anyways, that was my intake. I love that match. It was one of my favorite matches. I was looking forward to that match, and it definitely delivered, and it gave exactly and exceeded a little bit more expectations of what it was going to be. So I was just like, yes. But I was happy that with the outcome though, because I don't know, I kind of wanted to continue to see Gunther rule and continue his reign, because this, like I said, he was a great champion, especially in NXT UK. So I think that him having this title and not being put straight onto the top that is definitely giving him that build and building his resume before he gets added on. Because a lot, like we were talking about, and I keep mentioning, a lot of people didn't watch NXT, so not a lot of people are familiar with him. So I'm excited for him. That's amazing.
No, totally agree with that.
Going back to what you're saying about Triple H and him taking over on the creative side, if you really think about it, SummerSlam was kind of thrown in his lap because that whole shit with Vince kind of hit the fan right when SummerSlam was about to happen.
But he tweaked what he could, though.
Right, but what I'm saying is that this pay-per-view is probably more of Triple H's baby, and I think it showed. Because SummerSlam, he didn't really have time to really prepare, and I think they were just kind of going with the storylines they already had. So SummerSlam was still more or less Vince's, idea. And this really showed top to bottom that this had Triple H all over it. So I was really happy. Like I said, I think this is one of the better pay-per-views I've seen in a long time. I enjoyed SummerSlam, but it had its down moments too. But yeah, overall, this was a great one, and I might have to maybe think about what I said about match of the night, because the next match, Seth Rollins and Matt Riddle, to me, I thought was an amazing fucking match too. Seth Rollins' outfit to the ring. Mo, what do you think about Seth Rollins' outfit to the ring?
At first, I didn't like it because it was goofy, but then I was on Twitter and someone had the reference. Was it Elton John? That's what he's trying to. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, it was kind of funky looking. Not gonna lie, and I wasn't a fan of it until I saw the reference. I'm like, okay, he's paying homage. But yeah, no, for me, definitely match of the night. I already love Seth Rollins. This like big Seth Rollins fan. I don't think he ever has a match that misses, if
right.
To be perfectly honest. But shit, that match was amazing. I already knew it was going to be a banger because even though I'm not a fan of Matt Riddle as a human being, I could definitely I mean he's an asshole. But that's what made this feud even better. The fact that they took something from real life and they just threw it right in there, like at the very end, and just like threw off everybody. It's like I already wanted to see Seth Rollins like Matt Riddle, but now I'm really excited. And it could have went either way. It would have made sense, if Matt Riddle won, because I mean, like after someone really violated you and your family like that, I mean, bitch, I'm out here for blood at that point, But I wasn't upset with the outcome. It was great. I think everyone enjoyed it. There was definitely a lot of fun spots in the match. It was again exciting from top to bottom. What do you guys think?
I wish that match would have went a little longer. I wish they would have got a little more time, but I'm a huge Seth Rollins fan. And aside from Matt Riddle as the person, you could say whatever you want with all the social media shit. I'll put that aside. And him as a performer, I think Matt Riddle's solid in the ring. I think Riddle, he's got a bright future. I think he's really solid in the ring. But I don't think there's anybody better in WWE right now, aside from Roman Reigns, than Seth Rollins. I think Seth Rollins, the evolution of his character, everything about him, top to bottom, Seth Rollins is fucking money. The crowd might have been more into it. I mean, they were chanting with Seth's entrance music like the whole match. I mean, they
were.
Yeah. I mean, Seth Rollins, he is at the top of the food chain in WWE, and if they don't somehow circle back with him and a Roman Reigns feud, I think that would be huge going into Survivor Series, which is WWE's last big pay-per-view of the year. I would love to see the belt on Seth Rollins. What do you think, Liz?
That would be crazy. I would like to see. I mean, I'm a Seth Rollins fan, so I'm hoping for this story end with the fight. Pit match, bringing that match from NXT to the main roster would be awesome to see and end the feud. Which one? Wait, what fight are we? What fight
I think they're talking about Rollins. I don't want to see these guys go at it again. That's.
Yeah.
I think they put this shit to bed. I don't want to see them go again. I hope they don't. That's some old Vince McMahon shit where they're just going over and over and over. It's like, all right, let's kill this. Let's move on. I don't want to see them go at it again. What do you think about the match, though, Liz?
I enjoyed this match a lot. I knew the outcome would be Seth because there was no way that Matt was gonna win. He was just too emotional going into this match. For the first, Seth's just trying to throw him off, especially saying those harsh things about his family.
Right.
I don't know, if Riddle was aware of what he was gonna say. If they just told him, hey, can I talk about your family? And he was like, yeah, sure. And then this fool just went ham and threw him off. So I think or they agreed on it, and he told him, here, this is what you could say. I don't know, how it works backstage, whatever. But I think this just showed that it kind of threw him off in the way of, Seth just getting really, really, just mind fucking him. So I really enjoyed this match. So Matt Riddle, I don't know, this guy he is incredible, but he let his emotions get to him during this match, and it just showed how Seth Rollins is just still the architect. Like, this dude can still build his entire match before you're even in the match. So I love this match. It was great. I could agree it could be match of the night, but I'm still gonna go with my previous pick. So
right,
I'm still going with Walter.
Well, Mo, I want to hear your take because I know you're very involved on Twitter. Let's dive in a little more into the realness of what's going on with Matt Riddle.
That man got me blocked. Fuck him.
Well, hold on.
I've never met him, so I don't know if he's an asshole.
Well, hold on. So a lot of times in the past, WWE would distance themselves if somebody was getting some really bad press, and I don't know how much is legitimate and how much is bullshit, or how much is it an ex-girlfriend that's just pissed off at him. But will WWE distance himself from Matt Riddle and kind of are we going to see him off TV for a while? So they kind of figure out all this shit that's going on with him. Is this legit? Is this made up shit? I mean, what are we thinking?
They don't care. This is like his the third time that something broke out on the internet with him, because it started off with Candy Cartwright. That was the name of the female wrestler that alleged that he did something in a van with her that was inappropriate, and then that was during the speaking out movement. That fell on deaf ears, and I don't think anyone particularly. I'm not gonna say no one cared. I certainly did care, but WWE did nothing about it. They kind of swept it underneath the rug, and he was still getting pushed. He was still getting matches and stuff like that. He was still heavily involved, in the mid cards. They definitely didn't even give it much of attention like they did with Velveteen Dream. It was just okay, that happened, but since there's no proof, what do you want to do about it? And then something else happened between him and his wife that came out. That was, I'm not sure if that was a year ago or 6 months ago. And that made him look really bad. Didn't he cheat on his wife or something like that? Right?
It was basically, I think it was that, but it was also him talking about how he enjoyed being a parent, and she called him out on bullshit, saying that he had months without seeing the kids or something like that. And it was when he was barely starting his thing with Randy, and you know how Randy's a huge family guy. So that's the only reason why I remember what kind of happened, because I was like, damn, that's crazy. You looking this bad next to a person that you're saying you idolized. But yet you're doing the complete opposite of what he's doing. Randy is a huge guy, with his family is everything to him, and puts his kids before anything and anyone. So for all of that to come out, I'm just, I was kind of okay, they're probably going to end up trying to, separate these guys, and, Randy's probably not going to want to work with him, who knows, whatever's. But I think that's what happened.
But the reason why I bring this up is because of, on the tail end of the whole Vince McMahon controversy, will WWE be like, hey, we're going to shelf this guy because there's a lot of crazy shit going on about him. And, you know, they want to maybe kind of distance themselves from that type of behavior.
Nope.
I think it would have been done by now. So I don't know why they keep brushing it under the rug with him. Because it's true. I hadn't even noticed, but with everyone right away, with him, it's kind of been a little bit dragged on.
Like Austin Theory, because Austin Theory has some allegations with some like young girl on Snapchat. And like he don't get me wrong, he's being treated like shit. I mean, he just got fucking decked by Tyson Theory. He's like, I thought we watched that shit. I thought it was like a fake punch. That man went whoop and just knocks that man out. But like, yeah, they still have him on screen and he still has the briefcase. He's still like part of television. So I feel like honestly, yeah, this had happened with Vince McMahon, but I personally feel like if they could get away with sweeping certain things underneath the rug like they had in the past, they're gonna go ahead and keep doing it because Matt Riddle is still over. Like the crowd loves Matt Riddle, and if he's pulling in money, like they do not care. They're still gonna strap the rocket to him the same way they are now. I don't think he's gonna go away anytime soon, even if he did lose his feud, and I feel like this is still gonna roll over. He may not be champion anytime soon, but like he sells tickets, he sells merch. You know, I don't agree with the decision, but if I'm thinking the way like WWE likes to run their company, like that's just how they normally move. I think
those 420 shirts sold quick. Those 420 shirts sold quick.
Yeah, and like and Triple H is a big fan of Matt Riddle. Like you could tell that he's a big fan of him. I mean, you saw the way he was booked in NXT. You know what I mean? I think that even if it's not ethically or morally like a good decision, I know Triple H is just not going to drop him, or Stephanie McMahon is not going to, because she's the CEO now, right? They're not going to do anything about it. If nothing comes up and there's no actual like proof, you know, that he is doing what he's doing, they're going to just keep moving forward with their business.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
I mean, the only thing that they have at this point is just lawyers on deck in case something does.
Yeah.
Right.
Pretty sure.
Well, let's go into the main event. Let's talk about Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre. This was I think, in my opinion, I'm not if you're a fan of our show and you've been listening to us from the beginning, you would know I'm not a big Roman Reigns fan. So, I was a huge Roman Reigns fan when it was the Shield, right? But this whole tribal chief thing, I'm kind of over it. I was hoping that Drew would kind of get the win in his home country. It really looked like it might happen. But from beginning to end, this was a really great match. It might go down as one of Roman Reigns' best match. I think this was, in my opinion, one of his best matches. It was a great match. If you didn't watch the show, sorry to drop the spoiler, but Roman Reigns defended the title, and we saw the debut of his cousin Solo Sikoa. The Usos did not make it to Cardiff, Wales, so they weren't there. Paul Heyman wasn't there, so it really looked like they were kind of setting it up to where Roman would probably lose. But there's always surprises, and Solo Sikoa cost Drew the match. Roman Reigns wins. He's now champion 735 days, and I don't know where they're going to go next as far as who's going to feud with him, if they're going to keep going with this whole McIntyre thing. But I think that kind of closed the door for Drew, in my opinion. Mo, what's your take on this?
Well, let me backtrack a little bit. I'm the opposite with Roman Reigns. I couldn't stand his ass as a babyface or in the Shield. I thought he was just boring. I felt like he was shoved down our throats for the wrong reasons. He just was unnatural. He was lame. He was wag, boo, tomato, tomato, tomato. I feel as though now this is a role that's more fitted for him. I'm thoroughly enjoying the heel run. However, I am sick and tired of him with the belt, especially because he's part-time now, correct? I do not need him.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes,
kind of.
That's correct.
Yeah.
He's part-time. He is part-time. He got his shows cut enough to where he's considered part-time.
Yeah, I feel like this kind of ran its course. It was fun. It was great. I think this man had this from like with the pandemic until now, and he's already ran through everybody. I
I was actually looking forward to seeing Drew win because I was a big Drew McIntyre fan. And I felt so bad for him, when it came to his win during WrestleMania during the pandemic, because no one talks about it. He didn't get that ovation that he deserved, because it's a big thing to slay Brock. That's a very big accolade. You know what I'm saying? And it's just something that's just not talked about because, again, the pandemic era is kind of somewhat forgotten. And as soon as he got that belt, I mean, his feuds were just kind of like blah. It's definitely not something that anyone references when they think about Drew McIntyre. It almost just feels like, like a dream or something, So I was hoping that he was gonna get the belt because I think that he deserved to have an actual win. An actual run, and I mean it was the perfect place, the perfect location to give him that win. The match itself was a good match. What I think made it a better match was all the stuff that happened on the side, not the actual match. That's just my personal opinion. But the part that is the reason why it's not my favorite match is the ending. Because with that whole build-up, and playing Broken Dreams and shit like that, okay, why is it that when you lose the match, you out here singing with Tyson Fury?
Yeah, I actually turned the TV off. I was like, I'm so pissed off and irritated. I don't hear this fucking guy sing. What is this?
You should devastated. Why the fuck are you singing?
Right?
I wanted to throw my laptop at that point. Kyle's just like, Hunter, what? You did you really just allow this man to do that? And I'm conversing with people on Twitter about it, and they're like, oh, well, this is just normal in Europe. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck if they in Europe, okay?
Yeah.
The way they built him up, he seemed like he was hungry to win. He was hungry for something to sink his teeth into. He was just hungry to have the belt again, to have that run to defeat Roman. And then it's just you lost and you're just like, all right, let me just pick up a mic and kumbaya this shit. It made me upset because now you're disrespecting the title, and that match didn't mean anything because you don't care. Maybe if he wanted to give it some time afterward to not care and whatever, that would have been fine. But literally a few minutes after you got your ass beat, and it wasn't even a legitimate win. Someone cheated.
Right.
You should be pissed. You should be seeing red. You should be throwing shit, angry. Da 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 da. He should have. If the only reason why the mic should have been in his hand was to cut a promo talking shit because he was angry. So that just had me fucked up. I'm sorry.
I agree with everything though. No, it's so funny because I thought the same thing. And the first thing that came out of my mouth at that time, I was like, I think they were supposed to do this off air.
That's what I was thinking. If they want to do that off air, fine, cool, whatever. I get it. They haven't been in Europe in so many years, but to do that afterwards, it just. Your character looks dumb. Now I don't take you seriously. First of all, like I said, I was a fan of Drew. Then I stopped caring for Drew. Now I kind of care for Drew. And it's you want to pull this shit? All right. Let him come out and beat your ass again. You know what I mean? You clearly don't care.
Well, here's the thing. And here's the thing, too. That's why I don't know if they have a really for sure direction of how they want to take this with Roman under the Triple H era. So here's a couple X factors in this match, right? I gotta say, I love the idea of Austin Theory not ever being able to cash in his briefcase. I think that's funny as hell. I think they should keep doing that. They should keep milking that. When he tries to cash it in, somehow it gets derailed and he's never able to cash in his fucking briefcase. I think that's got to be the funniest shit going.
It is.
But the big confusion that I have is what's the point of carrying Cross? Because I thought he would be kind of having his sights set more on Roman Reigns, but he throws a water bottle at Drew McIntyre during the match, and then nothing really came of that. So what's carrying Cross? What's his purpose? Point. Yeah, but what's his purpose?
You just said it. That you would think that he would have his eye on Roman Reigns. Did he not distract Drew McIntyre so that Roman Reigns can dominate?
Oh, she made a point.
I mean, he threw a water bottle at him. It wasn't really.
But did he not do what he was supposed to do? He distracted Drew so that Roman Reigns can come and smack the fuck out of him, right? And then Roman Reigns took over the match. Did he not do what he was supposed to do?
Okay, so where are they headed? Where are they headed with that though? But where are they headed with that? That's my question.
Exactly
How
what
do you get it?
everybody's
With
talking
him,
about.
obviously.
How Karrion Kross is going to be the second heel in the fucking goddamn roster, which it means that Karrion Kross is getting pushed towards this whole Roman Reigns thing. I think he's supposed to be the one that's supposed to stop. I understand this whole thing, the concept of everybody Drew getting built up, which I loved it too. I was enjoying it. But the fact that he didn't win, it's like, if he would have won, that would have left Kross like, what the fuck? Like, I'm not here to beat you. I'm here to beat him. Like, type shit. So he was there to make sure that happened. So the second that he got that Drew came down here and they were doing their thing, he distracted him for that split second where Roman Reigns was able to take over. The whole point of this entire match is just for Roman to continue his thing where Solo Sikoa came in play.
Can I just interject for a moment? Another thing too, Triple H does this thing where, unlike Vince, because Vince is very formulaic, if you will, right? Like, you could usually predict how everything's going to go, and he normally doesn't have a B plot. If you watch NXT, like, I think everyone's used to Triple H always having an A plot and a B plot. So I feel like Sikoa's in there now because that's obviously going to be someone that is going to be added, yes, to Roman's character to add a layer. But I mean, Drew could probably go after him just because he's pissed. You know what I'm saying? But he's not going to be like, someone who's going to be holding the belt. I feel like he was just kind of like there to throw in a little monkey wrench and distract you for a little bit, because ultimately he's going to wrap back to, as Liz was saying, to Karrion Kross. So even though it was subtle, like she just said, it's going to mean something later on, because that's, again, how Triple H moves. Like, he's very methodical with the way he plans these shows.
I hope so, because I was just like, all right. So that was kind of, I thought, pointless, but I guess we'll see what happens.
There's little things mean everything.
I trust. I've been watching
when it comes to
wrestling.
Triple H. The little things mean everything. So with Triple H, you gotta kind of pay attention with what's going on.
Yeah.
And because something so unmeaningful can come and wrap everything around and make it full circle. Just saying.
Right.
Like I said, you needed to watch NXT, and now you're gonna get that, and I love it, and I'm excited for it.
All right. Yeah. Anyways, well, our hour kind of flew by. Mo, I love having you on the show. Thank you so much for coming on. I wanted to cover AEW All Out, but we ran out of time. I'm going to ask you guys real quick. I need a one-word answer, Liz. Is MJF showing up tonight at All Out? Yes or no?
I hope so.
Mo, what you think?
Sorry, I hope so.
Well, I hope so, yeah, but I think he's mad. I think this man wants to go. But if he does. I want to see MJF in WWE so bad. Same, right? Oh my God, he would be money. Like,
the
same way like Cody translated over and it was just like money. Like, I feel like this man is money. Like, he would be your top hill. Like, belt or not, but he doesn't have a belt.
Yes.
He doesn't have a belt.
Yes. With Triple H, yes. With Vince, no.
No, yeah, I totally agree. All right, one last thing. CM Punk, Moxley, who's winning? Liz? Mo?
Mox.
We got Mox.
Yeah.
I'm going for CM Punk, but I'm sure Mox will probably get the win.
Boo.
Hey. All right, so Mo, tell our audience where to find you, where you at, Culture 316 podcast, Twitter, Instagram, tell everybody where they can find you.
Culture 316, if you want to find our Instagram and our Twitter page, that's the same exact handle, Culture 316, literally just like that. I have right below, literally, my Twitter handle, Edge's Throat Goat. And then for Instagram, it's Mo 2_ ETG for Edge's Throat Goat. So Mo __ ETG.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on today. I apologize to our audience for all the technical difficulties. Whatever, we got through it. It was a great show. Thank you, Liz. Thank you, Mo. Tune in next Sunday as we're back, hopefully, at our normal time, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. I'm your host, Tony Twist, ATW All Things Wrestling Podcast, and we out.
Peace.